Hello, I'm Luke Bugg, the Geek of Steel, and this is the Portsmouth Comic Con Podcast, Season 4, Episode 1. This podcast, for me, is an exciting way for me to help share the information about this con that is coming on May the 2nd and 3rd of 2026. I've been attending since 2018. I have been able to see this event grow and grow over the years while still promoting comics and promoting fandoms through positivity and inclusivity. It is a joy to be connected to the heroes that work behind the scenes to make this weekend such a success. And this podcast is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be talking with guests, people from the industry, people that are excited to come back to Portsmouth Comic Con. And I can't wait because it means I get to get more excited for the build-up of this event. It is fantastic to see a Comic Con come to Portsmouth and do so well. I've been fortunate enough to visit Comic Cons around the world, but for me, I will always keep this weekend free. Not only because it is a very easy commute, but the fact that it brings so much joy to so many people. There is something at this con for everybody, and it is a beautiful thing to witness when fans come together to enjoy the things they love and discover things they might not have known they will love. Comics mean the world to me, as does Superman, but the world of fandoms does as well. And this weekend wraps it all up in a wonderful big box and gives it to the public. Which is why I'm so excited to be back talking about this event for the Portsmouth Comic Con Podcast. On this first episode, I got to speak with Nick and Curt and the marketing team from Portsmouth Guildhall to find out what has happened in the past and what will happen in the future. It was a great peek behind the curtain to find out how this event happens each year, and I think you're going to love this interview. Hello and welcome back to the Portsmouth Comic Con Podcast, Season 4. And it brings me so much joy to say that and to be back hosting this fantastic show. And today I've got some heroes for the first episode. Some of the team that work behind the scenes for Portsmouth Comic Con. Nick, Curt, and the whole marketing team, welcome to the show.
Morning.
Oh,
Hello.
thanks for having us. I feel like we should say that we're missing our head of marketing because otherwise she'll get upset.
That's
She's
okay,
on
yes,
holiday.
That's fine. Holidays
She's on a plane, so, you know.
That's fine. Well, we can
Who's
deal
really
with
winning?
that. But yeah, how are we all doing it? As we record this, it is a Monday morning. We're getting closer and closer to the con. And it's always exciting for this build-up. It's when the real preparation starts to begin. So I'm honoured to be able to learn some more from the team that have made this magic happen now since 2018. So let's go around and introduce everyone. If we can go, let's go for Nick first. Please introduce yourself, sir, to those that don't know who you are.
I am Nick Coles. I am the head of events director. So basically, the buck stops with me when it comes to Comic Con. So yeah, I'm a Doctor Who fan, as everybody at the Guildhall knows. So that's why you'll always find there's something Doctor Who at Comic Con. But yeah, thoroughly enjoy. Probably the best part of my whole time at the Guildhall is doing Comic Con, without a doubt.
And Curt, on to you, sir.
Yeah, so I'm the events manager at the Guildhall, events producer for Comic Con. Nick thinks the buck stops with him, but I think me and the marketing girls are very good again already. Constantly going, Nick, can we have this? So and so wants this. We've seen on social media. So Nick thinks the buck stops with him, but we like to get
That's
our
what we
own.
like him to think. Yeah.
Ah,
Keep him
now I
sweet.
understand why Curt went to a different room to record his interview. Nothing gets thrown across the office.
Normally I get stuff thrown at me, so.
And of course, we have almost the Charlie's Angels, as it were, from the marketing team. If we could introduce ourselves, please.
Yeah, I'm Joanne. I'm digital marketing officer at Guildhall Trust and for Portsmouth Comic Con.
Hi, I'm Georgia. I am Senior Creative Officer at the Guildhall Trust, but also for Comic Con.
I'm Millie. I'm the marketing assistant for the Guildhall Trust and Comic Con.
That's it. This is great, though, because I am so amazed with all the work that goes into this event that happens each year, and it continues to get bigger and better while still holding on to those Comic-Con roots that has made this event such a joy over the years. So it's going to be fun for me to learn more about how this event happens. So how did this, Nick and Curt, one for you, going back to 2018, when did this sort of event start taking shape?
It was actually 2016. We were asked by our CEO to come up with a new event. Curt were looking at each other, many different things we could do. And we said to him, what about a Comic-Con? Thinking he was going to say no. And he said, yeah, do it, make it happen. We then looked at each other in sheer panic because we'd never been to a Comic-Con, didn't really know what one was, had to do a lot of research very quickly. And 2 years later, we had our first Comic-Con, which was 2018, a lot smaller than what it is today. Literally took over several floors of the Guildhall and a small section of the car park, and it's grown ever since to what it is now.
It is fascinating to see how you've used such a unique space over the years, but still added more onto it somehow. I don't know if we can sort of possibly have a word with the big bosses and ask for a few extra floors to be put onto the Guildhall somehow, just so we can cram even more into the event. But it has, as you said, it has grown over the years, Curt. So, and what have you seen change over those years, Curt, for me?
It's that thing, I think Nick said, we'd never been to a Comic-Con before, but as soon as we announced that we were going to do a Comic-Con, we started to map out things, and I think it was on our side that we'd never been to one because we could create what we wanted the event to be. But it's come to a point now, we're just constantly getting requests of people wanting to be involved, wanting to be part of something really, really special. So yeah, I think extra floors would be great because obviously some people will contact us and they have some great content they want to bring. And it's like, I'm really sorry, but for 2026, it might not be possible. 2027, let's have a chat. So we're always planning ahead, which if we had more floors, maybe we'd be able to get everything in kind of for 1 year, and it would actually make our job harder for future years. So in a way, kind of having that limitation of what we can create, we want it to be bigger and better every year. I think we're still doing that. But we still have more content for future years.
You're just teasing with a bit more for future years to come back. And I love that because we've talked about this before, how I've seen cons around the world on different scales and different companies. But for me to have one in Portsmouth, in my hometown, that I can sing from the rooftops about how much I love it. In 2018, I thought, well, I really wonder how they're going to get this done. It's no easy feat to be, a first Comic-Con in a town where perhaps back then, many people didn't know what a Comic-Con was or could be. So what was that sort of challenges for that, for the marketing team and everyone else over the years you've managed to build this fantastic brand that fans and companies are trusting? What's it been like for you to enjoy that journey and see it grow?
Well, to be fair, none of us were here in 2018, so we can't sort of comment too far back.
You're just riding on Nick and Curt's coattails. That's
Yeah.
what made that magic happen.
It's got even better because, the marketing team is got better and better. So it's not me and Nick, it's down to the marketing team, clearly.
Look at that. He knows the right words to say.
Yeah,
well done for getting out of that
sweet.
hole, Curt. Well done. But I have seen it grow over the years, the marketing, and as well with the podcast, and the fact that when these months get closer to the event, we're seeing more posters. We're hearing more interviews on Express FM. We see this city get behind it. So let's go for a different route. And what's it like for you to see all these visitors and families and fans at this weekend having so much fun and enjoying their passions?
Oh, it is nice.
Yeah.
Kind of knowing that, we got the word out there and that we, the couple of months leading up to it is just chaos in terms of marketing, but seeing it all pay off is always really amazing.
Yeah. And it's sort of our job to go around on the day and take pictures and videos, and we do little mini mic interviews and stuff.
Cool.
And the feedback we get just makes all the stress leading up to it so worth it.
Yeah. It's always just a bit just waiting for that event day to come so that,
Yeah.
it'll pay off.
It is so much fun.
Yeah.
Love it.
I mean, that's the thing. Whenever you see somebody sort of that has got the Portsmouth Comic Con logos on, they are working non-stop. As soon as that sort of the doors are open to the con, everything is going on. It is a very well-maintained machine, which comes down to everybody that is stressing behind the scenes. You've got this big smile in front, but everything's just piling up behind. But you've got it all organised so well. Nick, how did you feel after your very first Portsmouth Comic Con? once it had all finished?
We slept for about a week. But no, it was the excitement. Nobody in the venue knew exactly what a Comic-Con was. We obviously did a lot of research. We wanted it to be more of a traditional, not celebrity based. So it was around the comics. So we had some fantastic comic artists that we managed to get in. And I think that gave us a good, steady base to build on. The fact it was about comics. We weren't relying on celebrities that were available at the time to come in. Not saying that we have developed a celebrity area now, but it was about the comic artist and the actual art of comics. So we did lots of exhibitions. We managed to get original drawings from Game of Thrones, the actually storyboards. No one thought we could get. We just literally went out and asked people, and we had good contacts. We had good professionals working with us then, and we've stuck with that. We've realised that we don't know everything. We need to bring in partners. So our partners and our groups have built over the years, but they've always been going in the same direction as us, making it a family-based Comic-Con, not necessarily a celebrity-based, which a lot of the other ones in the country are, which is good for them. But we're specifically about comics themselves and artists.
And I think we've seen that grow, that with the help from the marketing, and as you say, but it's something that I've noticed is that you've had the comics there from day one, but over the years, comics and storylines and characters have evolved, as has the world of Comic-Cons. There are so many passions out there now, whether it be games or cosplay or comics. There's something there that everyone loves to talk about online, and it's what's so great about a Comic-Con is all these fans can get together and we can embrace the things that we do love and discover new things as well. I know for sure that there's so many comics and sort of fandoms out there that I've not even dipped my toe into yet. But that's the fun of it, is that you get to experience all the good things that you love and the things that you find out at a Comic-Con. So what's it like for the marketing team to, walk around and interview the public? What have been some of the best compliments you've received whilst doing that?
I think the one I always remember is it was someone, he was quite young, and they were dressed as, I think it was Loki from the series, and they said about how amazing it was that they felt like part of a community as soon as they walked in the door, which is obviously what we aspire to be. So to hear someone tell us that back without knowing sort of what we try and do, it was really nice to go, oh, we've done it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always remember that comment.
Yeah, I think interviewing, like the young people who come in cosplay, and that's kind of the content that they bring to us, and it's really nice to just see how people are so excited to come along and meet other people who are in the same fandoms and cosplaying and stuff like that. Those are always the most enthusiastic people that we talk to, so that's always really nice.
And sometimes when you ask a question, you can't shut them up.
Yeah.
They're like, we love this and this and this.
Yeah.
It's so nice to hear.
They're our best advocates, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, what I've noticed from when fans get together and they're either meeting each other for the first time or they've been friends for years, it's that their true self starts to come out. This person that is so passionate about the world that they adore. I've brought my niece a few times to Portsmouth Comic Con, and she's got more and more adventurous with her cosplay over the years, but she was once quite shy and retiring, but she loved her passions and art. And then to see her at the event, speaking with friends and meeting new friends about cosplay and artwork and speaking with people in Artist Alley, you quite rightly put it, it's a community. And we've seen all these cons, as you say, around the world, and they are doing fantastically and they are trusted, but they've been doing cons for decades. Portsmouth Comic Con is relatively new still. It's a baby. I can't wait to see what you do for the 10-year celebration. I'm sure you've already got something up your sleeve. But at these events, you tend to see people outside cosplaying, recreating scenes and making content and taking photographs. But with Portsmouth Comic Con and those fantastic, iconic Guildhall steps, it's all in there contained. And everybody is, when they're not at a panel or walking around looking at the vendors, something is happening on those stairs, whether it's watching the cosplay parade or I can remember last year, a lot of the marketing team and some of the, Comic-Con workers were dancing along to the Ogre Tones last year. Fantastic moment when it was such a surreal thing to turn around and see everybody just dancing to the sounds of Shrek. But it was beautiful. It was everybody coming together. So to be a part of that must have been a fantastic memory for you. Curt, so as we heard, you've been there since the early days, as it were. What's been some of your favourite memories from the event?
My favourite memories, I think, is just, I think it was mentioned before, all that stress leading up to the event. You have the sleepless nights, you have the worries. Is it good enough this year? We make it bigger and better. And then you start thinking, is it as much as last year? Is it as good? But just those gates open, people flood in. And it's just seeing everyone in their kind of cosplay and everyone just coming in and it being almost one of the highlights of their entire year. And having that feedback, people will come up to us if they see us in uniform just to thank us, to say, this is every year what we look forward to. And there's so many specific highlights I could kind of look at, but I think just seeing everyone coming in and enjoying kind of the culture of the day and feeling safe, and it's one of those things. People have so many kind of things in their own life, health problems, financial problems, everything like that. On the day of Comic-Con, it's just about being part of the event and having fun. And for me, that's so special.
It is. And I mean, as you said, it's one of the biggest highlights of the year for me. I make sure that my calendar is free for the whole weekend. You probably know, because I'm there as soon as the gates are. I will be allowed in. I will be there, just in my absolute element. And it's just, for me, it's my Disney World. This is my holiday, as it were. Even though I'm there interviewing and enjoying the event, this is my happy place. This is where it all means so much to me, because you've managed to make something so special with people's passions, with the things that they love, with the things that they care about, whilst also introducing new fandoms as well. I know we've had a few meetings, and you've shared some details about what is coming this year. But what things can we talk about and can we expect to see for 2026 Comic-Con?
Perfect, John. That's one for you. Kind of a new area that you've been working on, I think is a really exciting element.
So this year is the first year that we're bringing in a bookish area, so authors and literature. We had like a small amount of it last year, but we're really kind of going for it this year. The fantasy zone that we had in 2025 is going to be bigger and better and more kind of interactive. And yeah, we're also going to have some like big name authors doing signings and panels and workshops, book swaps, little reading corner, all these things just to make, just like the reading bookish community a new like feature for them.
And that for me is huge. Growing up, I was not a fan of reading books. Graphic novels, for me, that was my introduction to literature. And from that, I then went into books. My current goal for this year, on New Year's Day, I started a reading challenge with my girlfriend. And she said, I'm going to read 60 books this year. And I was like, me being me, I thought, okay, I'm going to read 61. For me, that was turned out to absolute trying to catch up. I've had a very busy summer with the Superman film coming out, and she slowly overtook me. But comics are, there is a stepping stone into the world of literature for some people. And I've enjoyed reading so much over the last few years, so I can't wait to enjoy that. And the book swap idea, that's a fantastic little introduction, so that's going to be a fun one as well. What else we got coming up next year, Nick? What can we look forward to already?
We're obviously going to have favourites back. You can't do a Comic-Con without Star Wars. So with Joker Squad, one of our partners, we will be having a Star Wars experience. 2 years ago, we managed to get quite a few of the artists that do Star Wars picture boards, comics from Skywalker Ranch. They flew over and they were so impressed with what Joker Squad do. They were saying it was up there with anything Disney does, which everyone was beaming after that. And if you came last year, just to see the droids, the amount of droids, we had more droids in one area than anywhere in the country had ever seen before. So we'll have Star Wars back next year. Ghostbusters. I know Curt's in negotiation with them as we speak, so they will return. And there'll be some favourites, as we always have. You can't do these Comic-Cons without your favourites. But yeah, I think anything more you can think of, Curt?
I think I'm the worst person to ask, actually, after yourself, Nick. We
Wow.
we know everything that's coming, but what's been announced, we could completely ruin the marketing team's day by announcing before they get a
What are we
chance.
allowed to say?
Let's not do that.
So I'm quite we're quite careful what we say. We don't give anything away. I've mentioned to you, Nick, before the call that we've over the weekend confirmed 3 comic artists, which will be announced in the next coming kind of couple of weeks. Celebrity wise, we are working on that, and we've got a big name. We're just waiting for them to sign that contract, which we know they're going to do. But they're just a bit busy at the moment, and we can get that announcement out. Obviously, the first time we've looked at something like the Friday Night Dinner and the Plebs, the great Tom coming to Comic Con. So we've got some really exciting things. Just got to be careful I don't give anything away.
Yeah.
Well, I can see something brewing there that he really wants to say something, but I won't push too deep. I don't want to get any trouble with the team because I know they're going to be gunning for you if you say something that you shouldn't. But that's the thing, as you mentioned, with Tom being added to the list. Again, it's not something or somebody that is really associated with comics, but it's not always about that. It's that world of comedy with Plebs and Friday Night Dinner and his stand-up career. He'll be a fantastic guest to talk about. And it will get other people to enjoy the experience as well. And so, we'll go to the con and we can check out the artwork and the comics for you, but I really want to go and ask Tom some questions about the shows that he's been in, or I want to go and see this person and talk about their time working with this actor. There is something at this event for everybody. I have to have a really tight schedule of who I need to see, what I need to get signed, and again, you probably noticed this year, Nick and Curt, I had the girlfriend with me walking around with a clipboard telling me exactly where I needed to be so that I didn't get too distracted by all the fun things that were happening. So that is my advice for anybody that is going to a con, is plan your time well. For the marketing team, if you could sort of explain this to somebody that's not been to a con before, why would you say that Portsmouth Comic Con would be their first time experiencing a Comic Con?
I think it's a lot quieter than some of the bigger Comic Cons. You're not getting tens of thousands of people through the door. There's a bit more of an intimate experience. You can try everything. Everyone's so friendly. You can speak to anyone, go around any of the traders, and you can have a conversation with literally anyone. I think there's just so much versatility throughout as well. There's, whether you like Doctor Who, Marvel, like, or some of the more recent things like with Stranger Things and everything, like
Yes.
there is really something for every age group, every fandom. And I think that's really quite special here.
I also
I mean-
don't think you have to be like really, really geeky to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because people say, oh, I don't know if I'm really into that because I don't read comics or I don't do this. And I'm like, you don't have to. It's just like, it celebrates everything from comics to like pop culture. So you can like just like Plebs and Friday Night Dinner and that sort of thing and still really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I brought my dad one year and he was a bit like, oh, I don't know if I like it. 'Cause that's his mindset for most things. And then he came and got, oh my God, I loved it. It was great. I want to come back next year. And he is like the least Comic-Con-y person you've ever met.
Yeah.
It really is something that is just, you have to go to and experience it, because you don't have to be a comic reader or a big sort of book person or anything like that. You can just go and just enjoy the experience.
Yeah, it's the same with kids as well, because obviously, those kids are going to have these fandoms that they're super into, but they're coming to meet all of their favorite characters. They're coming for all the fun, like, stuff that's all included in the price for kids, all the activities, and just like the colours and fun of it all. So yeah, just like all ages can enjoy.
And I think I have seen that again grow over the years, is the fact that people are experiencing this event and coming back and wanting to see what is new for the next year. But you said it quite rightly, it's the fact that people don't really know what they're going to expect and then go away thinking, can't wait for the tickets next year, can't wait to come back to see what you do next time. Because yes, as you said, you don't have to be a huge fan of something to want to go. I think there have been some other events in the past where it's not sort of been gatekept, that certain fandom, but they're kind of like, oh, you haven't read this comic, then you shouldn't really be talking with us. We're the cool geeks, as it were. But everything there is just so inclusive, and people are recommending new comics or new games or new TV shows to watch. There is so much happening within the event that you go, yes, clearly I am an ambassador for this event, but you get your money's worth. I've been to cons around the world where you queue to get in. We get that. It's a big event. We have to have protocols. But then you get in and then there are more queues, but also more things to buy, more photo booths, more opportunities. You've got to put your pocket and spend all day. But with this event, there are so much things that are included in the ticket. It's wonderful to see people just enjoy that aspect and not have to worry about the big bills that can come with some other events. So how are some of the immersive experiences coming along for next year's event, Curt?
So, yeah, I mean, it's important to say as well, the immersive events that we kind of have got coming is once you pay your ticket price, these are included within your day out. So, you're not queuing up and thinking, right, it's an extra £5 to go into this area, which we're really proud of. I think obviously Nick's already mentioned that the main kind of immersive experience that we have each year is Star Wars. You can't have a Comic-Con without Star Wars. Anyone who came last year, it was like a movie set through that space. It was the Joker Squad team. They tell us what they've got planned. We think, yeah, that sounds amazing, and we're still amazed and surprised, and our jaws on the ground, kind of thinking how they pulled this off. So we're really proud of that. So more Star Wars, but we've tasked the Joker Squad with doing something different. So watch this space for more details on that.
Wow. Okay.
Ghostbusters is another area that we're kind of always kind of really passionate about having that immersive experience. Once again, I'm going to end up saying something I shouldn't say, but again, kind of we have set areas. Anyone who knows kind of how many immersive experiences we have, that always increases in numbers, and again, it's a whole day out and included in your price. So, it's coming and enjoying that. Going to trump Georgia of her dad. My mum is going to be coming to Comic-Con for the first time this year, flying in especially from Turkey to come to the Comic-Con. Never watched a Star Wars film in her life, never watched Marvel, never watched anything along those lines. Even though I know she's going to walk through and just be so amazed. I really think those immersive experiences, they just grip you. Even if you've not watched that kind of that film, you're still walking through thinking that is so cool.
True.
It's going to be nice to have your mum come over. I like that. I'm going to need to find some time in the diary to have a chat and ask her some questions that she probably won't want to be shared on the podcast, Curt, but that's fine. So Nick, we've been informed. We know you are a lover of Doctor Who. Your love for that is fantastic. And again, that's a huge fandom that has been coming to the con for over the years. We also last year, though, we had Star Trek. For the Star Trek fans out there, that was huge. And that was a fantastic walkthrough experience for that. What's it been like for you? Again, you've been there, as you said, since 2016. You're seeing it grow. You always seem so calm and you've got it all together and not putting your hair out and being too stressed. What's it like for you walking through that event, knowing that you've worked so hard from it over the following year?
Up until 10 o'clock, it is pandemonium. We're never sure if it's all going to work. We're on tenterhooks. As soon as those gates open, well, not even 10 o'clock, normally about 9:30 when the queue's there. And I must admit, last year's queue, we had a Disney queue that went on and on and on, past the pub on the corner, right down to the new Theatre Royal. When we opened the doors at 9:30 and the Star Wars people did a parade through. So when you turn up even early, we start the thing from 9:30. There's a massive Star Wars. You could just see people's faces light up. Even if you weren't into Star Wars, watching 50 people all in costume marching down the road with Darth Vader telling everybody off was fantastic. As soon as those doors open, you'll see me and Curt, we start to relax a little bit. By 12 o'clock and the place is packed and buzzing. It's a wonderful feeling just to see people enjoying themselves. And it's all ages. It doesn't have to be teenagers. I brought my 2-year-old granddaughter last year. She spent most of the day in awe until she met Bluey. Then she burst into tears because that's her favourite character and it terrified her.
Oh, no. Yeah. See, I did see Bluey last year and now I wasn't too aware of the Bluey fandom. Oh, for me, though, I've watched it over the last year. It's fantastic. A few of the episodes have got me all crying my eyes out.
I agree, yes.
I know it's meant for kids, but some of the talking points and that have been amazing. But As you said, that queue going around the block last year was fantastic. I went out there and walked down the line and gave out some goodies. There was a guy in the very front, the first person that queued up, in a fantastic Rimmer from Red Dwarf cosplay, and he was beaming all weekend, and he had some moments with the Red Dwarf guys as well. But seeing again just the excitement on people's faces for this event and seeing that queue go around
What
the
you
block.
don't know, Luke, is while that queue was forming, we actually had a gas leak in the pub dead opposite. At one stage, we were at 9:45. We were whether the actual con would actually go ahead because of the gas leak. And thanks to the gas board and their love of Comic Cons, they managed to move things around a little bit, and we managed to get everybody in. And nobody knew the difference other than me and Curt that were there, terrified that we wouldn't be able to have the event
Wow.
go ahead. But
well done for keeping that, under wraps, because that would have just been the absolute worst. But that is it. That's what you guys do. It's fantastic teamwork. It's the planning, that the stuff that happens behind the scenes that makes this so magical for everybody involved. As we all know, cosplay is a huge part of Comic-Con, and it's so great that we see so many different outfits at this event, both professional and people showing off their first time making cosplay. If you could not be in your Portsmouth Comic Con uniform for that weekend, which character would you all like to be whilst at Portsmouth Comic Con? Let's start with the marketing team there.
No, don't start with us.
I think I'd come as Natasha Romanoff.
Nice.
The Black Widow.
Yes.
Oh, Joanne,
I'll just be Buffy.
Just
There we go.
Buffy. Put some
I'll just
spice
be
on that.
Buffy.
That's a fantastic cosplay.
Yeah. Okay. I saw there was someone at Hastings Comic Con who was like Buffy from Prophecy Girl, because it's extremely nerdy, but she had like a prom dress, leather jacket, and steak. And I was like, yeah, that is a very cool costume. I would do that on.
See, that's the niche part of cosplays. You could go there as something there'd be something very, very subtle, but some of those
Those in the
diehard
know.
fans would notice it. They would notice it. Okay,
Well, I
come
I
on.
think I'd have to be a Disney princess.
That's fine.
I'd have to be Belle. She's
Nothing
my
wrong with
favourite.
that. I mean, I'm biased, but Belle is the best princess.
She is the most elite princess, yeah. 100%.
There's I've seen Belle at sort of a few different Belles at Victorious over the years, and there was one
Oh, yeah.
particular Belle that I proposed to about 5 times, and I'm still waiting on an answer. Again, we won't tell the girlfriend about that one. But Curt, who would you want to be for the weekend at Portsmouth?
Do you know what? It's a cop out because it doesn't quite fit the thing, but just looking behind you, there is a Funko of Louis Theroux who looks more like me than Louis Theroux. So let's keep it simple. It's not fully in the immersive industry, but cosplay is what you want it to be. So
It's casual cosplay. That's what we like. We like casual cosplay. That works as well. I mean, again, I think for the first 2 years at Portsmouth Comic Con, there was somebody cosplaying as Jesus, just walking around.
Yeah.
But he was being stopped for photographs all day long. It was just, you never quite know what you will see at Portsmouth Comic Con, and that is what I like. And now, Nick, saving the best till last.
I'm just saying that Jesus, he may not have been in cosplay. We do get some great characters. It might be the original.
That's
For
it.
all we know.
That's why there was no gas leak.
I'll have to be a Dalek, wouldn't I? As a Doctor Who, because there's a few people I wouldn't mind exterminating, but that's outside of cosplay. But yeah, I would love to be able to go round in a Dalek outfit, the costume, and just run people over and have some fun. Everyone's terrified of a Dalek, so it could be fun.
That works as well. And again, I remember seeing the Daleks here a few years ago, and even Slimer walking around the crowd last year in a hot dog cart. That just blew my mind. That was such a fantastic thing to see. So yeah, that my advice is for people, if it's their first time coming to Portsmouth Comic Con, wear good shoes and have an empty camera roll, because you're going to be taking photographs of stuff all day long. So yeah, the months are building up. Well done, Curt, for not giving away too much information about what will be coming next year. But there's going to be lots more announcements coming soon, and I can't wait. I've got all my notifications on, so as soon as anything posts on socials, I'm ready to get that news. So well done for the marketing team for giving me palpitations every time I get an alert go off on my phone about who's turning up or... That's fine. I'll just be an even more of a jittery wreck, because doing this podcast and building up to the months, sort of it it gives people something to look forward to, which is what a con should be all about. It's going back there, it's enjoying your time. For me, it's often saving up money to buy comics because there's quite a lot there. But what I've seen, again, going to cons around the world, if you are going to Portsmouth Comic Con with something specific you want to buy, you'll find it there. But the pricing meets the guest for me. You can buy something there for £1, or you could buy something there for £500. There is something there for everybody. And if it's, you're taking the kid to the con for the first time, you won't break the bank, which is fantastic because you think, great day out, didn't spend too much, had a fantastic time, we'll come back next year. That's what I want people to do for the comic community, because it's keeping it going for years to come. I want comics to be around forever. And there have been moments in time when comics nearly were pushed out because other things were taking over. So for me to see more than just comics be at a Comic-Con is great, because it's a big umbrella that covers the world of fandoms and makes it special for everyone. And it means that I can go back each time, year and year again, and add more to my collection. So, yeah, we are months away now. Where can people sort of go to keep up with information about this event? Of course, with the podcast as well, but where can people get up-to-date news about what's coming next?
PortsmouthComicCon.com, Instagram and Facebook. And we will be posting more on YouTube and TikTok coming up soon. So some video
Great.
content.
And turn on your notifications as well.
Yes.
Do it. You'll
Do
be
it.
excited. So I'm looking forward to Nick and Curt
Be
doing
more
all the
Luke.
next TikTok dances coming up soon. If there's any more trends coming out, I know that Nick and Curt love being on the socials, so that's going to be fun to see. But it's just nice to see Portsmouth Comic Con back each year, time and time again. So yes. Now, we had early bird tickets. Is that ending soon? I know this episode goes out on the 31st, which is now.
That's the last day. Yeah.
That's the
so
last
the last
day.
day of super early bird tickets is the 31st.
But
So-
yeah, but say, keep on the socials, make sure we don't miss anything. And hopefully over the upcoming months, Nick and Curt don't get too stressed out. And well done, though, for not saying the wrong thing today, just giving me just enough teasers to get that out there. And guys, from my point of view, thank you so much for the work that you have done for this event. Portsmouth over the years has done fantastic things for the arts, for music, for theatres. There's never really been anything for comics, and you have put Portsmouth on the map for that. So you should be very, very proud of that. I'm seeing people come from all over the world to not only want to be at the con to show off their artwork and talk about their passions and their careers, but people that want to visit Portsmouth for this event. So that's down to all of you for all those late nights and stressful meetings and Zoom calls that could have been an email, but you're doing the work, and you are, for me, the heroes behind Portsmouth Comic Con. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your time today. And I'm sure we'll have some chats over the upcoming months for when Portsmouth Comic Con 2026 gets even closer. All
Thanks
right.
for having us.
Thank
No,
you.
absolute pleasure. Guys, thank you, and we'll speak
Yeah.
soon. All right?
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
And that was episode 1 of season 4. That was fun to say. I've been doing this podcast now for 4 years for Portsmouth Comic Con, and it has been so much fun. I can't wait to see where it goes in the future and for what guests I will be able to speak to next. This event for Portsmouth and for comic fans is such a magical thing. Even just to sit down on those iconic Guildhall steps and watch hundreds of people just have such a fantastic time is a joy for me. To be able to see fans come together and cosplayers and artists and creators, it's wonderful. It's a community experience. And that weekend is one of my favourites of the year. And I can't wait for the upcoming months when more episodes of the Portsmouth Comic Con podcast will be going live. So, to find out more information, please go to portsmouthcomiccon.com for all your up-to-date info and to get your tickets. And of course, they will have all their links to their social media pages as well, so you don't miss any guest announcements or any of the fun things that will be coming to Portsmouth Comic Con 2026. I have been your host, Luke Bugg, the Geek of Steel, and I'll be back soon for a brand new episode of the Portsmouth Comic Con Podcast.